Okay, continuing on with number 4 here. It's interrupted there. Just going to go ahead. Again, we did 6 squared plus 13 squared equals h squared. And so when we do that, we get 6 squared. That's going to be 205 equals h squared. Square root that number. And we'll get about 14.3 is approximately equal to h. Oops. 14.3 inches. Okay. So that's 4. And then with 5, we need to find the area. So again, I'm going to give myself some more room here. Okay, so we need to find the area. Well, the area of a triangle, as you know, is 1/2 base times height. Now, the base is 6, so what's the height? Well, to find the height, since it's an isosceles triangle, this is going to be 3. And so 3 squared plus h squared equals 7 squared. So h squared equals 7 squared minus 3 squared. And that's 7 squared minus 3 squared is 40. So h squared equals 40. H equals the square root of 40. And so I'll just put that in there. It's about 18.97. And so that's going to round out to about 19.0. Okay, that concludes 10.1. Oh, the first page of 10.1. So now in 10.2, we need to go ahead and determine whether or not the triangles are right triangles. And so to do that, I'm going to go ahead and give myself some more room here. Well, if these are right triangles, then the Pythagorean theorem will work. In other words, we're going to assign this A, B, and C. Right now, it doesn't matter what A and B are, but C is always the hypotenuse, always the longest side. So if it's a right triangle, then 76 squared plus 98 squared will equal 120 squared. And similarly here, 85 squared plus 204 squared will equal 221 squared. So let's see if it does. 76 squared plus 98 squared. So 15380. Does that equal 120 squared? 14400. No, so not a right triangle. Okay, 85 squared plus 204 squared, 48841. Does that equal? Yes, it does. So yes, it is a right triangle. Okay. Well, that concludes the 10.1 content. Off the 10.2. Now in 10.2, you need to make sure that all your answers are in exact radical form. That means no decimals at all. So for this one here, this is a 45, 90 triangle because it's an isosceles right triangle. That makes this 14, and that makes this 14 root 2. So make sure you leave your answers as 14 root 2, and all answers are in centimeters, so include units on that one. Right, so if you were to say 14 times second root 2, you would get about 19.79, or like 20. And if you said that on a test, I would only give you half credit for that. So you have to make sure you leave it in exact form. Okay, so no decimals. Yeah, so exact form means there. Okay, so this is a 30, 60, 90 here. So that's going to make A 12, and B is twice 12, or 24. And then in 3, again, 30, 60, 90. So the short leg is 6, making the longer leg 6 root 3. And the hypotenuse is twice the short leg, or 12. All right, so again, number 2, the longer leg is 12 root 3, so the short leg is 12, and the hypotenuse is 24. Okay. Find the area of the rectangle. Now, to find the area, we need the base and the height. And this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So if the hypotenuse is 16, the short leg is half that, or 8, and the longer leg is 8 times the square root of 3. So the area equals 8 times 8 root 3 equals 64 root 3 centimeters squared. I got to remember centimeters on here. Okay, find the perimeter, and I'm going to go ahead for this one here. Start erasing some of these here. Oh, can't do that. Okay. Okay. Okay, so find the perimeter of this thing. So this is a, go ahead and draw this here. This is 12, so the short leg is 6, and this is 6 root 3. And this is also 6, and that's 6, and that's 6 root 2, because 45, 45, 90. And this would be 7. So the perimeter, you kind of like show that here. The perimeter equals 6 plus 7 plus 6 root 3 plus 12 plus 7 plus 6 root 2. And I'm going to go ahead and erase this one here. I need more room. Okay. So with that here, that's going to mean the perimeter will equal 6 plus 7 plus 12 plus 7. That is, let's see here. It's 32 plus 6 root 2 plus 6 root 3. And the units on that are centimeters. Now for this, to find the area, you can divide it up into 2 rectangles, or 1 rectangle and 2 triangles. But it's also a trapezoid. So you can just do the area as 1/2 times, you're going to add the bases together, and then multiply by the height. And so that's going to make your area equal to 1/2. 7 plus 6 is 13, plus 7 is 19. Times 6. Oh wait, hold on. Actually, it's not 19. Just calculated that slightly. That's 20. Okay. Now again, you can't combine the 20 and the 6 root 3 together. But you can go 1/2 times 6 is 3, right? And that's going to be 60 plus 18. And that's your final answer. You're going to leave it like that. So, okay, number 6. I'll give you the answers first. It's going to be 30 root 2. And the reason for that is because if the hypotenuse is 60, the short leg is 30, 30, and 30 root 2. And this is going to be 30 root 3. So AB is going to be 30 plus 30 root 3. That's your final answer. The area for this here, the area, do a little different color here. Your area is 1/2 base times height. So your area, 1/2 times 30 will be 15. So the 15 is going to go into both of those terms. And then it will be 450 plus 450 root 3. And of course, again, you have centimeters squared. So that's your area there. There we go. All right. So again, for number 5, you could do area of a trapezoid. You could all separate it out into 2 triangles and a rectangle, and you get the same answer. So either way is fine. And again, you can't combine numbers together unless they're the same, or radicals together unless they're the same radical, right? So when you have 32 plus 6 root 2 plus 3 root 3, you have to leave those separate. Okay. Well, that concludes part 2 of Chapter 10 review.